That's why I mentioned the other time that we need like 2 empty bottles of this Eva water or this bottled water. So we need them. We need to get a clean bowl, pour the water, fill the empty bottle. You can buy the one that is sealed, then pour them inside that bowl. Then you now get a teaspoon. That teaspoon, then you get granulated sugar and salt. So all you need to do is that just measure 10 teaspoonfuls of sugar, pour it inside that bowl with water, and add 1 teaspoonful of salt there. What you have done is that you have provided both glucose, that body, with both glucose and salt. So, and that is equal to dextrose in saline.
And that can sustain
exactly that can. So
before you now get to the hospital.
Yes, you now continue to give that client while moving the client to the hospital. You continue to give it orally.
Okay.
You continue to give it orally as the patient can tolerate as much as possible. So what you are doing is that you are replacing the fluid lost. So by the time the patient now gets to the hospital, the doctor takes over and now continue with setting up of drips, administration of antibiotics, etc., etc. So this is very, very important in the management, because if we don't do that, by the time the patient loses the body fluid totally, then he can die. So, and we don't want that in there. So that's the essence of this first aid care that we are telling the public. So the public should not be afraid. For anybody that has a cholera infection, when they get to the hospital, the medical experts are there to take care. Drugs are available there. We have investigation machines that can be used to make prompt diagnosis. So all these things are there. Government have provided them so that anybody that is infected and is taken to the hospital will be hospitalized and appropriately treated. So, and a lot of them have gone to the facility, they have been treated, they are all back home. So the other thing is that when it occurs around us, we should not keep quiet. We should ensure to report at the Ministry of Health or report at the health department of that particular local government. So to contact the Ministry of Health, we have our regular line 767 and we also have 112. So all these lines are there. Once you make a call, it's a toll free. There is somebody at the other end that's going to receive that information and make appropriate response immediately. So once we know, even if you cannot evacuate the patient, just let know. They will contact the ambulance services that will go there with ambulance and evacuate the patient and take the patient to the nearby health facilities. And we have also said for every public health facilities, whether at the primary health care or at the level of the secondary health care, that general hospital, or at the level of the tertiary health care, once you have more than 5 cases, you must report to government. We must know that you are having this, and we could trace the surveillance team will trace where we have and ensure that there is no further spread of that particular disease in that particular area. So that means these are means by which we can contain it.
Okay. This cholera outbreak, is it usually prevalent during raining season, or it's
yes, usually it is prevalent more during rainy season, because you know flies love.
But that doesn't mean it cannot occur.
It can occur anytime. Once we have an outbreak or people neglect the necessary precautionary plan that they should go through, like I've mentioned, then we could have an outbreak anytime, any day. So, but during during rainy season, because the flies usually love where that is wet. Are you getting it clear? So, and you know, it is easier to move all this because of poor disposal of refuse system. You see a lot of refuse disposed inside the,
which attracts the flies
inside the water that attracts a lot of flies. So, and when you have this, the fly will not only stay there, it will leave that place and go and meet people.
Enter your home.
Exactly. And come and visit people at home because they too are looking for what to eat. So, and they know woman being will have food in their home, so it doesn't visit. But also something, but what's important is with us at home, even when we have it leftover food, all you need to do is that we just need to cover them. Even bread, you know, unfortunately, most of the times when we have a leftover food, when we come back, all we do is we just take the bread now. Even when we have discovered that a rodent has touched, or flies has touched, all we do is that we just cut the part. That's what we do. Predominantly, that's what we do. We cut the part, and when they cut the part, and they say, "Plus Jesus minus it," and they will eat. And that is very, very wrong. So where we need to heat too. Sometimes when you have a leftover food, you may need to warm it with microwaves.
Okay.
Or autoclave.
Okay. According to the press release, the Ministry of Health Directorate of Environmental Health and the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency have been alerted to investigate a possible water contamination source in the Lekki Victoria Island access. What is the outcome of that, or the investigation is still going on?
Well, the investigation is still going on, but notably, the Directorate of Epidemiology, Biosecurity and Safety is that is responsible to actually carry out this exercise. Are you getting it clear? We have it at Yaba.
Okay.
We have it at Yaba. That's the point. So that they take samples from the infected victims and they take it there for analysis. Let's know what kind of bacteria is responsible. Would we even think it's not even bacteria? Maybe it's a virus. So that is going to be identified there. So after identifying it, then the regular antibiotics and all the rest are there. Other drugs are there for us to be instituted, and the person will be okay. So that directory is responsible for the environmental and the La SEPA. Yes, they will look at the water from which source is our water that we are consuming. So how is it contaminated? What is the care around that water? How safe is the water? So they will investigate the source of the water that we are drinking. Then we'll be able to bring out some responses and, of course, some conclusion as to why we have an outbreak of cholera in this particular area.
So we await the results.
Yes, we are waiting the report until they are done. When they are done, they will make the report known to us, and of course we can continue to work with that.
Abimbola has another question for you.
To ask you before we allow you go, what advice would you give to Lagos residents, especially precautionary measures when they are buying food outside, or people who buy cut fruits, people who buy food generally? What kind of advice would you give them this morning?
Thank you very much. The advice I want to give to Lagosians now is that, yes, we have food vendors around. So if you are buying any food, ensure that you are in that area where that food is prepared is safe, that environment, because that is very, very key. We have food vendors around that go around. We have canteens, we have bukateria where people go and take amala and the rest. So we must just ensure that that particular area is hygienic point, because when you are food from where it is stored, contaminated, food from where it is processed can also be contaminated.
Even in markets,
you
will see flies, hovering around.
Market, yes, you see. So we advise Lagos that when you get to the market and you see that you have a particular whether meat or whether fruits that are cropped around by housefly, then you need to move away from that particular place. But we continue to educate our marketers that they should ensure that they cover their food. So when they cover their food, flies and other things will not have access to those food, talk less of contaminating the food. Then the source of water. If you want to drink water now, you must be sure of the source of the water. If you are doubting the source of any water, don't drink such water. And it's important that now that we have an outbreak which has not been totally contained, then we must ensure that we can have that problem anywhere. And we should ensure that our water are boiled from time to time. All our fruits, you peel it properly, wash properly, peel properly, and vegetable cook properly. All our food are well cooked, even to the highest heating point, so that if there is any bacteria or virus or fungal or any other forms of microorganisms are there, it can easily destroy them.
Thank
so
you.
we should take responsibility.
Thank you very much.
Take into our hands.
Thank
and
you.
watch
Take
our hands.
responsibility.
Yes, wash our hands regularly with soap and water.
And practice safe hygiene practices. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Olusegun Badejo, the State Health Educator and Director of Health Promotion, Lagos State Ministry of Health, and he has said so much about precautionary measures against cholera outbreak. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.